Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Ebro in the morning. Laura Stiles Rosenberg, and it's being taken over by young Victor Cruz.
What up?
He's a nice man.
So besides the football stuff, because I know you're, you know, we've seen you in fashion shows, we've seen you, you know, in TV shows. What are you taking on? What TV shows, movies? What's happening with you?
So I went to LA just to kind of switch up the scenery. And Rosenberg, as you know, we've talked about this. I didn't want people, you know, the Giants just released me a few months ago. And I didn't want 110 people coming up to me. We're sorry. We're sorry.
Right.
We're sorry. We're sorry. I'm just like, get out of my face.
Nah, yeah, here that
Please.
would have been the case every day.
It would have been everywhere.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me go to LA, kind of let my hair down, chill, relax, reflect a little bit, and as well as take some meetings to let people know, hey, next stage of my career, I want to be out here in Hollywood doing my thing, but doing it the right way. I don't want to be cheesy, and I don't want to do some things that are out of my character. I want to do it the right way and be aligned with the right people.
Well, you've always done a great job with your brand, so you don't want to mess that up now. You've
Yeah.
always had a really, outside of football, you've always had a quality brand.
Thank you,
So yeah,
Rosie.
you don't want to mess that up.
Exactly.
And do something whack.
Exactly. So the next phase, which I feel like this is a turning point, now I have to plan for the future, has to be right. So I took some meetings out there, and throughout my time out there, I was offered this amazing show on MTV called The Challenge, Champs versus Pros, where if anybody's seen MTV, it's a challenge show where, you know, real world road rules guys go and do these amazing different types of competitions against one another.
Like the old classic
yeah,
road
yeah,
rules
yeah.
challenge
Classic
shows.
joint.
Okay.
But the difference
you know-
with this show is it's the former champions like Johnny Bananas and Wes and Darrell, guys that we're all familiar with. They go up against current or former professional athletes. Sean Merriman, Cameron Wembley, Lolo Jones, Louis Vito.
Isn't my guy CM Punk on there?
CM Punk, the God, is on
Yo,
there.
what can you tell? What is Punk like?
Yo,
in your opinion,
he's such a G. Like, there was some, you know, Johnny Bananas, he's the guy that gets under everybody's skin, right? So he tried to do that to CM Punk. He said, I bet the last time you was in the UFC ring didn't go so well.
because Punk did get his ass beat in the UFC.
Got knocked out.
Bad.
So he mentioned that to him, and CM Punk got hot. He was livid, and they was almost nose to nose about to square off. And they wanted me to come over there and be like, hey, guys, break it up. And I looked at the MTV exec like, I'm not doing that.
getting in.
I'm going to let that diffuse on its own. You know what I'm saying?
So how did you enjoy the actual, like, the work of hosting? It is a different ballgame.
It's for sure work. It's different work than being on the field. It's different work than practicing and getting ready for a game. But it's work. I mean, I'm on set from 8 a.m. to midnight sometimes with a couple breaks in between, but you're working. And you're doing your clean reads, and then you're doing the reads when they're out there, and you're interacting with the show, and it's a lot of work. But it was fun.
But again, great from a brand standpoint. A show like that is a perfect step to take.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's in your lane, it's related to athletics, but it's still hosting. You know what I'm saying? You can't jump out the window and completely do something unrelated to what people know Victor Cruz as.
Exactly.
So when does that show start airing?
So that show airs May 16th. Make sure you guys are locked in on MTV.
That's
Dope.
Tuesday, May 16th.
Tuesday, May 16th. I'm excited for it. I did a voiceover just to do some cleanup stuff the other day, and they showed me like a playback of like the preview that everybody's gonna see, and I was like, "Yo, it's for real." Like,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
ain't-
yeah, yeah.
It's an exciting. That's
You
an
know, it's
exciting
an exciting
thing.
time.
Nah, and listen, if it's like my MTV experience, it'll be really good until it gets canceled. Now let's go on. Speaking of canceled, let's talk about what happened with the Giants. That
We're going right
comes
there?
to an end.
Okay.
We got to.
Okay. Glad
That
we
comes
got the
to an
good
end.
Stuff out, you know.
Now I'm going to tell you, I have
That's
personal.
his way of smoothing it in.
Yeah, you like that?
Exactly.
Well, I have a lot of personal.
Amazing transition,
Thank you
by the
very
way.
much. Speaking of canceled, your time with the Giants canceled.
Damn.
Well, listen, I'm a really very public. Everyone knows I'm friends with Victor, so I on the K show when I talk about it, you know, I feel very strongly that last season for half the year, you were contributing a lot. Like first of all, you single-handedly, in my opinion, basically won 2 games for the Giants, and in many games. Late in games, you would have like a 45-yard reception down the sideline in a critical moment. And so I was always confused about when the conversation sort of shifted to like, oh, well, can Victor Cruz still contribute? I was always confused by that because I'm like, nothing changed and the man was contributing for half the season. And then the Giants had their share of struggles when it came to getting the ball deep down the field. So the question is, what percentage confident are you that you will end up on an NFL roster this year?
100%. I mean, there's not a doubt in my mind that at some point I'll end up getting a phone call from a team, whether it be now or whether it be, you know, prior to the beginning of training camp. I firmly believe, and my agent better believe, that I'll be on a football team. But I believe that although in limited time last year and limited opportunity, not time, I would say opportunity, that I showed that I can continue to play at a high level and I can make plays when given the opportunity, when the ball's thrown in my direction. And those are the only things I have control over, is when the ball's thrown to me, is that I can make plays and make things happen when the opportunity and when my number's called. So I think I proved that last year. Obviously, some things were up and down. Our entire season was kind of up and down. And I don't want to, I've said my fair share of things about how the season went down in my back home, behind closed doors.
Right.
So I won't go in on the Giants here. But it was a good year. Most guys don't even get the opportunity to come back after 2 injuries.
Well, I was gonna say,
You know
is
what I
part
mean?
of you
That's right.
mentally okay if it didn't happen? Was it such a bonus to get to come back and play another year?
Listen, to come back, to go through training camp, to be healthy, to play week 1, to have the winning touchdown against the Dallas Cowboys in week 1.
Talk about it.
It doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any better than that. The best part of that, nobody knows this. The best part of that is we're on the plane headed back, and I'm just sulking in all my glory, scrolling through Twitter and watching the replay of that game 100 times. Odell walks up to me. He's on the phone. He's FaceTiming, and he walks up to me. He's like, "Yo, look," and it's Drake. And he's like, "Yo, I'm so happy for you, dog." Like, he's in the back of a Maybach. You see the, the stars.
It sounds like this.
And I'm just like, I was like, appreciate it, man. Thank you for, supporting me always. Drake has always been a huge supporter of Odell and myself.
He's like, I still prefer Canadian football, but I like this. Yeah, it's a good touchdown. More tunes for your head top. Yeah.
Oh, man. So
That's amazing.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
We even roasted him about the infamous Miami situation.
That's right.
man.
Now, Victor, when that happened at the time, it was a huge story, and I did my best PR job on both shows.
What side of the fence were you on? Were you on
Well,
my side?
like
Talk to me.
real feeling?
Of course.
I thought it was overblown.
Okay.
I thought, the one thing Michael Kay kept harping on was just he had no problem with it except the posed picture. He was like, I just don't understand the posed picture. And they did, everyone did say, and wasn't Victor the one who knew better? So why weren't you the one who was like, guys, we can't take a picture on this trip?
Well, I thought it was understood that, okay, we might take a photo, but don't post it. Like, don't send it around immediately.
Who was the first one to post it?
Trey Songz.
Oh my
Did you hit him? Did anyone hit Trey?
God.
Trey hit us once it started, because literally, like, from the moment we took the photo on the boat, we went to the airport maybe 3 hours later. By the time we got to the airport, it was already full on.
That's it.
Like,
Flames.
ether. Like, put the flame emojis everywhere. So he hit Odell like, "Yo, man, I don't want to cause no trouble. I didn't mean anything by it. Yada, yada, yada." But,
Odell was
Trey-
probably like, it's no big deal. Like, he probably didn't understand the
Odell
levels he
was
gets
half
to.
asleep, like, "Bro, I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. Like, it's cool. Like, I don't because he hadn't looked.
No.
Meanwhile, we're waiting at the airport and we're looking at our phones, and me and Sterling are like, "Fam, they're ethering us on here." Mind you, I had the Soldier Boy Kill Yourself fit on with the red skull.
Oh, I forgot about
and
that.
I had no idea until they posted the side. by
Yo,
side.
did you enjoy the L starter kit
Yeah, it
memes?
was,
Those
yeah,
are pretty funny.
Those are pretty good. Those are
Now,
pretty good. The Jordan crying face memes on all of us on the boat was the best
Honestly,
one.
that
By
was my
far.
favorite one.
By far.
By the
That
way-
was the best
By
one.
By the way, little secret here. First person to make the Jordan crying face on the boat,
Yeah.
myself.
Thank you.
I was
Thank
like,
you
well,
for that.
someone's gonna do it.
You feel fantastic
So why
about
not
that,
be
don't you?
his
You feel
friend
great about that.
who made? But mine wasn't the one that made it around. Someone else jacked it made it. But I was like, the entire group of Jordan crying faces was
Hysterical.
mage.
Hysterical.
Now, but you did have to feel like after the game, did it give you some relief to know that you didn't have any personal mess ups during that game? Because you knew the media was waiting on you, even though it was ridiculous. And the idea of tying in a late night out 6 days earlier to a playoff game, did it give you
was
any
gonna happen.
pause, or were you just like so bummed out about losing that's all you could think
It's a
about?
little bit of both. Obviously, in the exact moment, you're like, man, we lost. Whatever. But in the back of my mind, I was like, whew, good thing I didn't drop any balls.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Good thing I went out there and put out my best performance, and we didn't come out victorious, but I did well. You know what I mean?
What that game must have been a frustrating. You had that thing like it was there
right
for the
there.
taking.
It was right
really
there.
was.
Especially early on, we had some opportunities to score some points and get up on, get 14, 21 points on the board quick. and we didn't take advantage of those opportunities, and then that's the result that we ended up with, was the loss.
Well, okay, one more controversial thing to ask you about,
Okay.
and I'm sure I know where you'll err on this, but for the first time ever in his entire career, Eli has a little bit of heat right now in
bit of
public.
heat. A little bit of fire in
A little
front
bit
of
of
Eli
fire.
right
He's
now.
getting some flame emojis.
Rare.
He was away from that boat,
Rare.
but he's got some flame emojis coming his way right now about him supposedly being accused of getting basically pawning off materials as being game used that were not game used. What can you say about how you see the situation and the character of Eli?
Well, let's be clear. His character is top notch. I mean, for years in this town, everyone's seen him out and about, or probably not seen him because he doesn't go anywhere. But anytime he's in front of a camera, you see him. He's always a stand-up guy. He's always been a high character individual. So when you see something like this happen, your initial reaction is like, I don't know what this is, but it'll blow over soon. But I think this one's not going to blow over soon. Like, it's going to be some conversations to be had. Something is going to have to be said. Eli's going to have to admit or own up to whatever this is, and we'll see what happens. Because there's a question of what was that email about?
Fam.
You're asking your equipment manager to send you something that resembles game-worn apparel. What is it about? Is it for your auntie back in Mississippi that just wants a jersey?
Right.
Or is it for someone that is paying you for whatever?
How common do you think it would be for a situation like that to occur, where someone's like, "Hey, I need some stuff," and it's like, "All right, I'm not giving them my playoff thing, but I'll take it. I'll put it on. Here you go. Yeah, I wore this." It's
Extremely.
That's
It's extremely common. But the fact that he wrote the actual words "pass for game worn," that's the part that's like.
Have you spoken to him about it?
I haven't spoken to him about it, and I probably never will, because Eli is Eli, and we'll figure it out. But I'm not gonna be like, "Yo, E."
But is he one of your favorite teammates you've had?
1,000%. I mean, his sarcasm goes unnoticed because no one really, gets to talk to him on that level. He's a prankster, which everybody, that knows him knows that. And he's just a guy that is always on your side. When the Giants let me go, he was the first person to call me and say, "Yo, fam,
He did not say "Yo, fam."
He didn't say fam.
Confirmed. He did not say "fam."
But he said-
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, Vic.
To be clear, he said, "Hello, Victor."
Okay, thank you. That's better.
That's
Yo, what's good, fams?
Thank you for your contribution to this organization, to this team. It was an honor to play with you for 7 years, and an honor to win a Super Bowl championship with you. We've been in the trenches together, and I appreciate everything you've done. And thank you for your time spent here. And I'm sure you'll be a Giant that goes on to do bigger and greater things, but you'll always be a Giant.
You think you're Giant Ring of Fame?
I would hope so. I think so.
Yeah.
You say hell yes, Griff. You're a fan.
I hope so.
Yeah, you certainly had some moments.
God willing.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Victor Cruz holding it down all morning with us. Tuesday, May 16th. What's the name of the show?
The Challenge, Chance versus Pros, on MTV, May 16th.
And of course, don't get it twisted. Run out to a shoe store near you and
Foot
get
Locker,
the
Kith, wherever you want to go, man.
the
Those
fly
pairs are out
dude.
there.
Air Cruz.
Air
so
Cruz.
tight.
Oh yeah, he's got his own sneaker. Thanks, Vic.
No problem. You got it.